Yo, how's it going, broskis? It's your boy Lofi here, and today I'm gonna be telling you guys a story about how I thought I could actually get arrested for looking at porn when I was like 12 years old. Yeah, no joke, no scam. Yeah, 12-year-old me thought that I was actually going to go to jail because I was trying to see Alexis Texas take some back shots. Oh, Jesus Christ. This one's a wild one. There was this whole thing with this police officer, and you know what? I'm just gonna hop right into the story. So flashback to the mythical year known as 2012, the year we all thought the world was gonna end for some goddamn reason, and for me, it almost did. A little world building for you guys. I was raised super duper mega Christian. Like, my mom genuinely would not let me watch SpongeBob type beat, and she unironically made it seem like if I ever decided to look at porn, then I was actually disrespecting women so much that it would send me to hell. I'm not even joking. Up until I was about 15 years old, anytime I would like just glance at a chick with a fat ass or a fat pair of tits, I would unironically stop what I was doing, close my eyes, and start praying to God and repenting because I didn't want to legitimately be burned alive by Satan in the fiery pits of hell. So, W religious trauma, I guess. But on this particular day, I was home alone. My mom was at work, my brother was at a friend's house, and I had just got home from school, and I was just like, man, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Puberty was hitting, hormones were raging, and I was just, I was Googling some boobs, okay? I'm straight up, alright? I'm gonna tell you guys, little 12-year-old me was on my Windows 8 laptop Googling some fat titties. Now, because of what I had mentioned earlier, I genuinely thought that as long as I didn't go on an actual porn website and look at people actually having sex, then I was okay. I was in the clear. You know, I was just using Google Images. I technically wasn't breaking my mom's rules, and maybe God just couldn't see me using Google Incognito tab. Now, at this point, you know, your boy's in middle school and never actually seen a pair of titties outside of 720p on a screen. So just typing into the Google search bar naked boobs made my centimeter Peter go wild. Not gonna lie, I had meat in one hand, lotion in the other, and I was just beating the fuck out my meat, alright? I was eviscerating that shit. The shit that I did to my dick that day, oh my god. If anything, I should have been arrested for domestic violence. Yeah, but nah, little me had just meat in hand, was scrolling through the images on Google, seeing some boobs, and then I saw one image that was actually not just boobs. It was actual people having sex, and I was just like, whoa, well, technically, this is just on Google Images. It's not that bad. So then I decided to go even deeper. The goon session got even wild. I can't say that. Jesus Christ. Fuck, you know what? Fuck monetization on this video, right? I'm keeping it real. At that point, I decided, well, I'm already sinning. God already hates me. I'm gonna go to hell. I might as well just decide to actually look up some real porn, and that's exactly what I did. I typed in Google Images, people having sex, and yeah, you know, that's what I was looking at. And being a 12-year-old virgin and having no experience with anything having to do with sex at all, not even understanding how that works, and just having learned how babies are made, I was honestly just very curious seeing all the shit that I was seeing. I had never seen a dick go in an asshole before, so seeing that, honestly, I stopped beating my meat, and I was just like, you could use that hole? What the fuck? Pandora's box had been opened, and everything that had come out was never going back in. My life had changed forever. And as I mentioned earlier, I was on this really shitty Windows 8 laptop that I had got for Christmas, and as many of you know, back in the day, they used to not have touchscreens on most laptops, and you had these really shitty touchpads to move your mouse around. And as I was scrolling and scrolling through all these pictures of naked bodies, dicks going in places they should and shouldn't be, for some reason, I was using the mouse pad to scroll instead of just using the space bar or the arrow keys, and I had accidentally actually clicked on one of the porn images that started sending me to a website. Because at the time, you know, I never actually looked at Google Images and tried to go on to a website before. You know, I wasn't really allowed on the internet at all unsupervised. My mom was very, very strict about that. Anytime I wanted to get on my computer, I actually had to tell her, and she actually kept our laptops in her room. So I wasn't very tech savvy, wasn't very computer savvy. So I didn't know that if you click on an image, it sends you to the website that the image is from. And it sent me to this really jank-ass website that had like porn everywhere, and it was creepy, it was weird, it was bright colors flashing everywhere, because this was 2012, back when websites weren't all the same cookie-cutter bland colors of beige and black and gray. Alright, there was just like pink and purple and just images, pussies, dicks, titties everywhere. Once the page had finally loaded, I was just like, whoa, I'm actually on a porn website. Oh my god. And, you know, I'm scared at the same time, and also, you know, you know. And so I started scrolling through this website, because I'm like, well, I'm already here. My mom's somehow gonna find out. God is looking down at me. I'm gonna go to hell anyway, so I might as well just check out the first porn website I've ever been on in my entire life and go out with a bang. So I see this thumbnail for a video that had this, like, really close-up, hairy, like, coochie just sitting there, and I decided to click on it, and normally you would think it would just open up a tab and start playing the video, but no, it opened up like 10 different tabs. My screen starts spamming out, my computer starts going, whoo, like it's overheating like crazy. And I'm sitting here, I'm trying to move my little mouse pad, spam clicking on stuff, mashing my keyboard, clicking the escape button. I was trying anything and everything I could to try and get my computer to stop opening up tab after tab after tab and spazzing the fuck out, but it clearly wasn't working. So I'm sitting here freaking the fuck out, wondering just how I'm supposed to explain this to my mom about how I broke the absolute fuck out of my computer while trying to look at a pair of tits, no less. When my screen just goes black. And for a second I thought my laptop died, and I was like, oh, well, man, okay, maybe it's fixed, maybe I'll be okay. And then I see an image that kind of looks like this pop up on my screen, but the words were just a little bit different. It had the FBI logo on it and all this official looking stuff, and it had like some fake laws listed, and it was like, you have been caught looking at illegal material. Unless you wire us $10,000 right now, you will be found, you will be arrested, and you will be put in jail for up to 5 to 10 years. And it listed like some law talking about section C 1.3 blah blah blah, you know, like some shit to just make it look official. And being 12 years old, I didn't see this as a porn virus of people trying to scam me out of money. I thought this was real. I unironically thought this was legit, and I started freaking the fuck out even more, because I was like, oh my god, was I looking at illegal material? I was just on Google Images a second ago. I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna go to jail, and I'm gonna get booty raped. And so I tried turning my computer off, turning it back on, but every time that it booted all the way back up, all it did was show that same image on my screen. So I'm like legitimately tweaking at this point, and like actually crying. Like, I am so dead ass. A second ago, I was eviscerating the meat, and now I am actually crying because I think I'm actually going to go to jail, because I'm thinking to myself, I don't have $10,000. I can't pay the government. I'm just gonna go to jail, man. I'm only 12. How did I fuck up this bad? And I'm pacing around the living room, struggling to hold back tears, trying to think if I can get myself out of this situation. Do I pour water on my laptop? Do I destroy it and throw it in the dumpster? But if I do that and the cops do come, how am I gonna run from the police? I'm only in middle school. I don't know how to survive by myself in the wild. And then, being the good little Christian boy I am, I remembered that I had a neighbor across the street from me who was a police officer. So I decided to build up the courage and go turn myself in. Over-exaggerating a bit with that part, okay? I didn't go turn myself in. I just remembered that I had a cop as a neighbor, and I was just like, let me show this to her. I'm freaking out. I'm 12 years old. There's no way I can go to jail for this, right? Like, part of my rational brain was a little bit active, so I decided to go over there, take my laptop to her. I knock on her door. She opens it up and is like, hey, how's it going, little Lofi? And let's call her Miss T, all right? Miss T is just like, hey, you know, what's going on? How can I help you? And I'm like, can I come inside? I need to talk to you. It's an emergency. And I immediately see her face switch from friendly neighbor to police officer mode. So she lets me in. I have my laptop with me. We're sitting in her living room, and I'm struggling not to cry. And I open up the laptop. I turn it on, and then, you know, the screen that was said the whole thing about the FBI and the $10,000 and all the laws and stuff pops up. I turn the screen towards her and show it to her, and I was just like, you know, I'm having tears streaming down my face, and I was like, I was looking at some porn, and this website popped up, and then this showed up on my screen, and I don't want to go to jail. I'm so sorry. I don't want to go to jail. Like, I'm literally like saying that to her, and she's, you know, taking a look at the screen, looking up at me, and then she just starts fucking laughing. I am so dead ass. While I'm sitting here, tears streaming down my face, worrying about whether or not I was gonna go to jail, whether or not I was looking at something illegal or not, and she just starts laughing her fucking ass off. And so little Lofi was just like, what? I was angry at first. Like, I see her laughing, and like a little bit of anger rises up in me because I came to her for help. Like, you're a cop. You're supposed to help people. I thought that I was in a fucked up situation, and you're just laughing in my face, bro. Fuck you. And then she's like, boy, you are fine. This is a porn virus. You got a virus on your laptop. And I'm like, huh? She's like, yeah, this is a virus. If we actually caught you looking at something illegal, we wouldn't give you a heads up in time to destroy evidence. We would just come and get you. This is fake. They're trying to get money out of you, and like, this is a virus, dude. And I'm like, really? Are you serious? And she's like, yeah. Plus, you're 12 years old. We wouldn't even if you were looking at something you weren't supposed to, we can't exactly try a child for looking at any of those types of images. I mean, you're a kid. Kids do stupid stuff. And she was just like, man, you're gonna be okay. You're not gonna go to jail. You're not gonna get arrested. Nothing's gonna happen, right? She calms me down and is just like, you're fine, dude. You just got a porn virus because you're a fucking dumbass. She didn't say that last part, but that's exactly how I felt. Like a fucking dumbass. And so as I'm drying my tears, trying to compose myself, I ask her, well, what do I tell my mom? How do I explain this situation to her? And she's like, well, the same way that you just explained it to me. Tell her you came to me, you freaked out, you're looking at some porn, and you got a virus on your computer that tried to scam you. And I'm like, yeah, well, I guess that's exactly what I gotta say. So she gives me a bottle of water, sends my ass home, and I just sit there and wait for my mom to get home from work, and I tell her exactly what happened. And little funny bit to this story, when my mom comes home from work, I'm literally like sitting in my bedroom reading a book. I go downstairs when I hear her come in, and I'm like, Mom, I was looking at porn on my laptop. I already put it up in your room. I know I'm grounded. I got a virus on my computer, and I know I'm in trouble. I put all my Beyblades in your room too. Like, unironically, I grabbed like all my favorite toys and stuff and put them in my mom's room too, because I knew that I was gonna get grounded and whatever. And so I'm just like, I know I'm in trouble. I'm so sorry, Mom. I should have been looking at porn. You know, tears streaming down my face, and I go up to my room, shut the door, and I'm just like, and my mama just stood there in disbelief, just like, I just got home from work and I'm being bombarded by all this shit. You got a porn virus on your computer? Boy, go get my belt. Nah, she didn't whoop me or anything. At least not that time. She just set her stuff down, comes up to my room and starts talking to me, you know, giving the whole mom talk about porn is bad. You shouldn't look at that stuff. And yes, you are grounded. And I'm keeping everything that you said on the bed. You're grounded until I say you're not. She gave me this whole speech about how I'm disrespecting women by looking at porn, you know, because it portrays them in derogatory ways, blah, 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 you know, all that type of stuff. You know, my mom was heavy on that type of shit, as I mentioned earlier. And also just having to hear that lecture from her was worse than, like, any of the things that I had experienced in the past 2 hours, and I'm just like, bruh, I basically just grounded myself. I did your job for you. You don't need to give me this speech. I already feel like shit. I don't have a laptop anymore either, so bye-bye Roblox. And, yeah, that's the story of how I actually thought that I was going to go to jail for looking at porn. My dumb ass got a porn virus and freaked the fuck out thinking it was real. And, bro, I just know that my police officer neighbor, Mrs. T, went to work and was definitely telling all her other police officer homies about how much of a dumbass I was. And honestly, rightfully so. If I was a cop and I had, like, my neighbor's kid come up and say, I think I'm gonna go to jail because I was looking at porn, it's a funny story. I mean, if it wasn't a funny story, I wouldn't be telling it on fucking YouTube right now. But yeah, the moral of this story is don't use Google Images to look at porn, I guess. Or maybe don't look at porn at all. I don't know, bro. Everybody's got varying opinions on that shit. Do what you want, bro. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this story time video, then drop a fat like on it and subscribe if you're new. I'd really appreciate that. If you want more story times in the future, let me know down in the comments below. I definitely like telling these. I've made a lot of stupid decisions in my life. I'm actually pretty fucking dumb, so I got a lot more stories, dude. Anyways, my pure stupidity aside, I really hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. I've been Lofi. Peace out, broskies.